Ah, Sachi. Sachi, Sachi, Sachi. Let's go ahead and put this preset on. I think 5-6 wings. It's pretty standard.
We have a number of programs to run during these practice sessions. You can check the details in the car monitor. We'll get good data for both the race and factory teams, so they're well worth running. If you want to know specific information or make certain changes to the car during a pit stop, you can tell me what you want over the radio. Press and hold the radio button to activate the system, and you can either speak the command or select it manually from the radio screen that will appear on the multifunction display. While the radio is active, cycle through command groups with the MFD button.
Just trying to find a setup here.
The track is pretty quiet at the moment. Perhaps we should get out there and get a few laps in.
Yeah, 1 second. I'm trying to figure out what I did in terms of the remaining part of this setup. Okay. We went 320. Yeah, that's what we're at now.
Okay, here's something to remember about this circuit. Ignore turn 1, it's flat out. As far as you're concerned, it doesn't really exist. You'll be traveling at high speed, maybe with DRS when you reach the braking zone for 2. Make sure you don't lock up and skip the chicane.
Okay. I'm so glad I did this. I'm so glad I have these. We can always mess with the brakes. This is gonna be fine. Really?
Quick note about tyres. Just bear in mind we have to return the 2 most worn sets at the end of this session. They're gone forever at that point, so be careful how and when you use them, and don't waste any sets that you might need later on.
That should do for now. That should do just fine. Acclimatization? On the hard tire. This is gonna be fun. Oh boy. Hard tire. Acclimatization.
Okay, Jeff here. You're causing unnecessary wear to your transmission. Try to take it easy, or we risk losing it. Okay, your goal is to get through as many corner gates as quickly and precisely as possible. Remember to activate your DRS in the DRS zone as well. Approaching the DRS zone, watch your MFD for the activation point.
We'll just take a new gearbox after this. Okay. Good stuff. Not good stuff. don't think we have second gear available.
That's looking good. Now let's try for purple. You'll get a bonus for consistency if you can chain good corners together.
Fortunately, I don't think I'm gonna need it.
That's fantastic. You obviously have a really good understanding of this circuit. Program complete and a job well done. We got...
Okay, everything's good. I think the pressures could be like a click higher for the race, but for the most part, not too bad. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yeah, we'll change that after. We'll change that after. For now, that's fine.
We need to be sure you can manage the tires through a lap, so try to keep the wear down through each corner. Be especially careful accelerating on corner exit. Okay, test complete, and that was a very good job indeed. We got a lot of valuable information out of that.
Good. Everything's good. Where temperatures are a little bit low. 29, 29, 20. What are we looking at? 28, 19. Okay, so we're looking at similar
So far,
conditions.
our fastest lap is a 1:36.5.
Let's do another one since we're here. Let's allow us to see how the soft tire is.
In this program, we want you to focus on fuel-saving technique. Lift and coast through corner entry to save as much as you can while keeping under the minimum lap time. That's an acceptable lap, but you're capable of more if you work at it.
Piece of cake. Piece of cake. It's pretty straightforward. Oh, the last corner.
Program complete.
But we got optimal saving, so that's good. Yeah, we're getting almost gonna get maximum. All right, let's go ahead and change out that gearbox while we're here. It'll probably take 60 minutes. Oh, 10 minutes. That'll take 10 minutes. No. Okay. Well, that's not too bad. We won't have a lot of time by the end of the session, but we'll just get it changed. We don't have to take a penalty to change out the practice gearbox, so it's fine. Yeah, look at that. We can go again. We can do this. Not enough time. There's plenty of time.
In this program, we're looking at ERS management. This is all about managing your battery efficiently throughout the lap to hit your target time. The overtake button will drain the battery quickly, but it will also give you maximum power.
I can conserve it on the straights. Fair enough.
Okay, test complete, and that was
Yes! Two seconds, 1 second, and just in time. Look at that. Nailed it.
And with all the cars now over the line, let's see our top...
Yeah, the difficulty's a little bit down. It's just a little bit down. I don't have much of a choice, do I? It's gonna be wet. We need to do this FP3, so if I click skip to, it's gonna skip to... Let's just jump into it. We'll try it at a different race weekend. I'm afraid to I'm afraid to skip it. I don't want to jump the whole session. $490. We may not even go out. We'll have to see how the track conditions are. Yeah, let's just save it.
It's time to remind ourselves of our top 3.
Just save it until FP3. So we're using the event gearbox here.
Okay, we need a few solid laps here to help us calculate a good race strategy. Oh, okay. Hello, Jack, in the chat. Hello. How are you doing?
Okay, car's a little bit...
Great lab. You've nailed what we asked for. Keep it up.
It's not so stable, or it's not awful at the rear, but it's... Traction is scary at times. I'm doing pretty good, pretty good. Just trying to knock out this last practice program. So yeah, like right there, it's a little bit scary. Oh. Okay, we may need to soften the suspension just a little bit. I mean, the curbs here are pretty flat. You should be able to ride the...
Super job so far. We're getting great data. Stay focused.
You should be able to ride the curbs here with no problem. Like, I can get all over that curb. I can take the inside to this next curb. Ah, this is a corner cut. Is this a modded livery? No, it's a, it's one of the liveries that comes with the game, but you have to unlock it with the, I don't know what it's called. Like, you have to progress to unlock it. And I unlocked it eventually, I unlocked it a few weeks ago. Yeah, Podium Pass, that's what it's called. I didn't buy it though. It just was one of those things that it was one of the free one. I think it was free. I don't remember buying it. I don't have the skill to actually make a custom livery in Photoshop, or I would. Okay.
Great lab. You've nailed what we asked for. Keep it up.
I would like to make a custom one. I think that's one of the cool things about doing this on PC, because I used to do this on console, but this is the first year I've been able to play this on PC. So I could actually mod this game if I wanted to. I think it would make the career mode more realistic, because you could put real sponsors on the car or whatever. And of course the livery possibilities are pretty much endless. Why does this practice program seem like it takes forever? This is the longest practice program. One more lap.
Okay, super job so far. We're getting great data. Stay focused.
So when we do the race, I think the tires are a little bit underheated, especially at the rear. So we may bump the pressures up by 1. I hate turn... Technically it's turn 2, but I always refer to it as turn 1 because that kink on the straight is hardly a turn. Five laps in the race feels like 2 laps, or feels like 2 laps, but 5 laps in practice feels like 2 races. Yeah, it's funny how that is. Except for the races where you're under a lot of pressure, those races tend to feel like they take forever. Even if it's, I just do 50% distance. So even at 50% distance, it feels like those races take forever where you have to defend for the whole race, or for at least half a race.
Complete and a job well done.
That's good enough. I think we might have to do qualifying as well. I want to do the qualifying program just to see how far off the difficulty we need to be, and then we will do the actual qualifying. This program is usually a decent indicator of how far you are off the difficulty. I think it's a little too easy right now, for this track at least. I wish Codemasters would at least fix their difficulty. It's all over the place. One track it's too low, the next track it's too high.
We've estimated the times our closest rivals will be doing, so that's what we need to beat.
We'll find out. If I ace this, then it's definitely too low. Locked up on the way in. That cost me at least a few tenths. Oh, the Season 1 car. Such a dog. It's such a dog in the corners. Even with upgrades.
Okay, test complete, and that was a very good job indeed. We got a lot of valuable information out of that.
It says 13th or 11th. I don't think will be that high, but it is. I could have gone faster than that, but I don't. I think we're definitely going to need to bump it up. To set the AI right, you just need to do short qualifying at Spain, and whatever the difference is, subtract a tenth or subtract 1 for every tenth of a difference. Yeah, well, I did that. I have a base difficulty, but like, for example, the AI are super weak at Canada, Austria.
Our best lap so far is
they're kind of weak at Monza.
34.8.
They're weak at China, but they'll be weak at like certain circuits, and then you'll go to like Monaco. I don't know where else are they strong. They're pretty strong, I think, at Suzuka. Like, there's certain tracks that they're really strong at and then really weak. So the difficulty's kind of all over the place. Like, I have to bump it way up and then from one track and then bump it way down for another. So it's just, you kind of have to guess at it sometimes. We'll jump to qualifying. If I had to guess, I mean, yeah.
Close, so let's review our top three. Hamilton, Bottas, and Alexander Albon. And if today's practice is anything to go by,
we're way up there. It's free practice, but we're like way up there. And in qualifying, we should be at the highest, like P14. I don't think it's unrealistic for us to qualify P14, especially at this stage in the season. So if I can bump it back up from the screen. That's way too low. So I'll try 80. We'll try 89. I did Monza, like, I think was at 90 or 91. Austria was 97. So we'll just try 89. It's kind of all over the place. If we're really fast with 89, we'll bump it up again. But it's just kind of hard to find. I did watch the race on Sunday. I watched the race yesterday, and that was kind of an insane race. I had all kinds of emotions because I wanted to see Russell win, and then everything went wrong, but Perez winning was also very nice. It would have been nice for George to win. He deserved to win. He controlled the whole race. I mean, he controlled it. He was in control from the very beginning. He looked really good on the safety car restarts. I mean, he didn't look scared to be leading a race in Formula 1 for the first time. Took it to Bottas, and then the bad pit stop happened, where they put the wrong tires on, and then the puncture happened after that, and that just killed it. And I'm a Ferrari fan, so I usually want to see Mercedes make mistakes like the ones they made on Sunday, but yesterday was the one time I actually cheered for Mercedes to win, and they couldn't win. So go figure. I think I changed everything I need to change. We'll go right into qualifying. Hopefully this is the right difficulty. But it was odd because I wanted Merc to win. But it was almost like I was watching Ferrari when they made that pit stop. I was like, this is something Ferrari would do. And they had a 6-second pit stop with Seb, and Mercedes made that pit stop look fast when they went to change Russell and Bottas's tires. What they did with Bottas is they went to put tires on his car, and then they realized that they were going to put Russell's tires on Bottas, so they had to take them back off and then put Bottas's old tires back on. And that explains why he was so slow after the safety car, the second safety car. Which, I wonder what that race would have been like if that safety car never happened. Because it was because of that safety car that Mercedes decided to pit, and I don't think anything would have happened if there wasn't that safety car. I think Russell would have won with no problems. But it's hard to know. We'll never know. But yeah, just that was such a punch in the gut for George Russell. He deserved it too. He's been at the back of the field the whole season for 2 seasons with Williams, and he's been trundling around at the back and finally gets a chance to race at the front. He looks so good at the front, and then he can't win. He's not able to win the race. all because of
Standing
problems that weren't his fault. Oh yeah, yeah, it was his Williams car. Yeah, Aitken lost it on the final corner and crashed. He crashed into the barrier and destroyed his front wing. It just feels like George Russell can't get any luck. He's been so close to scoring points with Williams on multiple occasions and hasn't been able to do it. And then yesterday's race with Mercedes. I also remember he was coming on the radio talking about, I'm gonna let this car go. I don't know if they're on an in-lap or not, but I don't want to get in the way. I don't know, what was I saying? Oh yeah, he was on the radio talking about power issues, and I was like, are you serious? Because they scared me when he said that, because he did lose some time in one of the sectors, and I was like, are you serious? Mercedes never have issues with reliability, and if they have an issue today, I think he just was in a wrong setting after the pit stop, so eventually he changed something, I think, on the car, and whatever it was, it went away. George showed on Sunday that he is championship material. He's good enough to do it. If he gets a good enough car, he's going to be good enough to do it. He has the potential. I must say, the future of F1, in terms of the drivers, is going to be very exciting to watch. Because you have Russell, Norris, Leclerc, even Verstappen, who at this point is a veteran. It's kind of weird to think of Verstappen that way, but he's basically a veteran at this point. I missed the apex. And with the regulation changes, who knows what's going to happen? Yeah, Max, if Max ever gets a good enough car, look out. Okay, it's P12 at the moment, but that's provisional. It could change. It's kind of weird to think that Max has been in F1 for as long as he has, and he's not even that old.
There's only one lap of fuel remaining.
I think he came in, when he got to Red Bull, it was when they dropped Kvyat. I was not watching F1 at the time. This is a year before I got into F1. But they dropped Kvyat, and then they brought Max up, and he won the first race in the Red Bull, and you could kind of tell he's just kind of one of those prodigies. He just has a different level of talent. So you've seen a lot of different seasons. Yeah, I've only been watching. I got into F1 at the end of 2017. I'm trying to remember what happened. I saw a video for the 2017 video game on YouTube, and I was like, oh, I kind of knew what F1 is. But it's not. I knew what F1 is, but I didn't really watch it. and it's not really that popular here in America. But I knew what it was, and I was like, I could get into that. So I got the game, and then after I got the game, I felt like I should start watching it. So I started watching it at the end of that season, and started watching the end of the 17th season. The first race I watched live was Malaysia, and then the first full season I followed was 2018, which was pretty fun for the most part, being a Ferrari fan, because Seb was in the title hunt for at least more than half of that season. And I pretty much followed every season. I've watched every race ever since 2018. I've watched every race. Kind of become a diehard fan now. P12 is pretty far up the order. We're overshooting our objective, I guess you could say.
Our best lap so far is a 1:33.5.
I've always said if we can fight with the Haas cars and we're putting in similar lap times to Haas, because Delatraz is not very experienced right now. If we can fight with their cars and put in similar lap times, I'd say we're about on par with the difficulty. We're a bit higher up than that, so it may be a little bit low. I try to get the difficulty about right. I don't want to make it too easy, but I don't want to make it too hard.
The car settings screen on your multifunction display will allow you to change various settings as you drive. Open the display with the MFD button. You can then navigate up and down to the setting you want to change.
Let's see, the latest we could go out is 2.5.
Second in the speed trap, 333.7 kilometers per hour.
2.5 minutes. Yeah, Lewis winning in 2008 was dramatic. He almost won in 2007 as well. I think the only reason he didn't win, he crashed out in China in the pit lane, and I think that's the only reason he didn't win in 2007. Or I have to go back and watch that season. We'll wait until Stroll. We'll go out now. I don't want to mess around.
All personnel be aware, car leaving.
Oh my god. I gotta remember, you have no grip on the initial few corners. Until you get the tires warmed up, they don't have any grip. I wish I'd gotten into the sport earlier, back in, I think 2012 would have been a fun season to watch live. That was a really crazy season. I watched a season review of it last year. Alright, let's try to nail turn 2.
30 seconds left in the session.
Because I got turn 2 wrong. It's final corner is so awkward. It's just slow and awkward. A 10th down already. Well, almost a 10th, but we're gonna get it back. Nope. Curb on the inside is a bit aggressive. I didn't get so much understeer that time. How are we setting a purple first sector? Yeah, we're not going to improve now. Well, we improved a few tenths. We found P9 at the end of the session, which is still quite high. So, yeah, definitely need to bump the difficulty at least a few points. A little bit scruffy on the last couple corners. The car has just a little bit of understeer in some of these corners, so maybe we could stiffen the rear anti-roll bar. Who got knocked out again? Let's see. Raikkonen, the same suspects, usual suspects. Magnussen and the Haas gets through with a 33.9, so we are 7 tenths clear. So that's kind of what I'm aiming for. So we'll definitely bump it up for Q2. Since we've made it, I'll try 92. We'll see how 92 is. Yeah, I just want to try to loosen. I gotta be careful. Well, I can't change it, can I? We're in qualifying. I can't change the roll bar. I didn't think about that. We could put more front wing. Let's try that. We'll try 6 wings. I just want to get the front end biting a little bit more in the corners. Also, thank you for subscribing. I don't know if that was Jack. I don't have notifications. I have to tell this every time someone subscribes. But I don't have a way of seeing who subscribed. But I do want to say thank you. Since there's not a good chance we'll make Q3, let's just go out we'll do 1 lap, and we'll go out very late in the session. We'll put it at, we'll go out at the same time we went out at the end of Q1. So that way we go out and the track is as rubbered in as possible. Oh, okay. Yeah, definitely. If you have to go to bed, definitely do that. Unfortunately, when I stream, it's kind of late in Europe, or not just Europe, but in other places. But thanks for tuning in. Thanks for stopping by. Stop by again if you can. Let's go out. Let's do this Q2 lap.
Engine fired. We're set.
If we get into Q3, I'll be shocked. Two minutes left in the session. We should be fine on being able to set the time. I can actually relax on the outlap if I want to. Ooh, my. Okay, so it looks like the wing change didn't do much. Or maybe it did, I don't know. Maybe I have to wait for the tires to come up to temperature. That could be a thing that I need to do. Okay, more understeer, good. Minute left. We'll have time. We'll be fine to set a lap. We're locking up into the. I guess that's a chicane. Can you call it a chicane? All right, full focus for this qualifying lap. Let's put everything into it. I don't care too much about the lockup. I'm just trying to make the corner at this point. Hug this turn. Oh, I saved it, but that's gonna cost me some time. Definitely want to brake before that black box above the circuit. It's going to be a bit wide. I need to slow the car down more into that turn. Oh, the traction is very scary.
Remaining in the session.
2 minutes.
Here, or we're out of qualifying.
P15. That's accurate. I think that's good. That's a good place. That's a good place on the grid for us. We outqualified probably the Haas. I'd be willing to bet we outqualified the Haas car. Yeah, we did. Alright. That's exactly the difficulty. That is exactly it. Not much else to see. We'll have to change that power unit, but I'm looking at races ahead of us. with my home Grand Prix coming up, we'll probably take the penalty. It depends on how the power unit wears, but we may have to take penalty at Suzuka. If we do, it is what it is. Remember that we are hogging up resource points for next season because there is a regulation change coming in, so I don't know if that has been... Yeah, that hasn't shown which departments are going to get affected yet, but we don't want to buy any more upgrades. So let's halt the upgrades for now so we don't have to adapt parts for next season, or the less parts we have to adapt, the better. Not much else really to say, I guess. Let's jump right in. I'm going to go grab a water, but while I'm doing that, I'm going to let the race introduction play.
Welcome along then to Sochi and the Russian Grand Prix, one of 8 cities in the world to play host to both the Olympics and a Formula One race. It's a Grand Prix that's proven difficult to crack for anyone beyond the first 2 rows of the grid in recent years, so let's see if that can change today. Built on the shores of the Black Sea, the Sochi Autodrome is a 3.6-mile tour around some of the venues built for the 2014 Winter Olympic Games. Close barriers may make overtakes more challenging, but with 56% of the lap taken absolutely flat out, we certainly won't be wanting for pure speed. A fitting arena then to do battle at the pinnacle of motorsport. Alongside me to discuss all the action today is Anthony Davidson. Thanks for joining us, Ant. And tell me, you were down in the pit lane earlier. How do you think the track conditions are today?
Well, it's looking a bit cold out there, if I'm honest. These tyres have quite a narrow operating window in terms of the temperatures they need to extract the best grip. So with a cold track surface, it's going to be harder to keep those temperatures up, which will lead to lower grip and maybe more mistakes.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, and it's Valtteri Bottas that completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Albon, Charles Leclerc and Vettel, Ricciardo, Perez, Kvyat and Carlos Sainz, Norris, Stroll, Antonio Giovinazzi, the Rainmaster, Magnussen, Gasly, Kimi Raikkonen and Roman Grosjean. Russell, Latifi, Delatraz and Esteban Ocon rounds off the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track.
After the points finish last race, let's aim to keep the momentum going.
Okay, I don't know how much fuel I put in because you can definitely save. But we are going to over. But it's a question of how much we're going to over fuel. One more thing about the car setup. So this is the setup. It's 6.6, 78.62. Oops. I don't mean to skip forward 2 places, but I'm gonna bump these up on each front and the rear by 1. Hopefully we don't have any issues with traction or anything of that nature. I like this setup, or this, this setup. The strategy call, I think, yeah, will be fine. We could try an overcut. Or we could just pit, we could just box when we're supposed to, which is going to be lap 11, so I'm going to go with that. We'll box on lap 11, anything else? I don't think there's much else to be seen. So, let's get to the race. We're going to go from soft to medium. If there is, when is that again? Lap 11, if there's a safety car around, let's see, the mediums could do 16 laps. Easily. They could probably do almost 20. So, if we have a safety car around 8, lap 8, 9, or anywhere around there, we go to hard tire before the pit window. In fact, if we have a safety car on lap 7, anywhere around 6, 7, or 8, for sure we will definitely come in. So lap 6 at the earliest for if there's a safety car to pit. So that's my game plan. Information lap time. We do have the inside again into turn 1.
Okay, how was the pull away? You'll have a bit more grip
This is
than
turn
that
1,
on
by the way.
start, but
This
we need
kink.
to warm the tyres properly now. Make sure you get some heat into the brakes as well.
So that is the first turn. But to me, this is the real turn 1 right here. It is the biggest is a big overtaking opportunity on the first lap. Try to take these tires to lap 11. Unless there is a safety car. And we just got to stay out of trouble
No
on the
threat
first.
of rain for the time being. Conditions looking good.
Just have to stay out of trouble on the first lap. And that's our biggest thing to take into consideration. Staying out of trouble. We're going to have Magnussen and Gasly behind us on the attack. Okay, to the grid. The tires are not super well heated up, I think, but we'll deal with that when we get to the first heavy braking point of the lap, which is turn 2. But I'm gonna probably end up calling it turn 1, inevitably. Okay, it's an okay start. Oh my god. Well, we're gonna have to box for a new wing. McLaren pulled out in front of me.
Mind that front wing.
Yeah.
It'll need replacing if it takes too much damage.
Yeah, that's gonna suck.
Check your MFD for a new strategy option.
Confirm change.
Got that confirmed?
Oh, we're out. We're out.
Right, the marshals are on their way.
Oh, we're out. Not a good start. Well, I don't have flashbacks, so we're definitely out of this one. God, I couldn't avoid the walls. Magnussen took us out. Well, that's a DNF. This was a horrible start. tried to rejoin and I tried to rejoin and we touched Magnussen and that put us in the wall. And as I said, no flashbacks no matter what, so that's our race done. It's brutal and bad luck. That's it. Another DNF on the list of Season 1 DNFs. Kind of my fault, but kind of not my fault.
Victory for the team from Milton Keynes then, after a quality performance. So Anthony, what made the difference out there today?
The wing damage on the first turn was not really my fault. I was not expecting that McLaren to pull over like that.
Red Bull put up an outstanding fight for the front position today, and it's great to see it paid off for them. They do so much for the sport that you can't help but be delighted by today's race win.
Haven't put a foot wrong the whole weekend, qualifying, practice, no crashes, nothing. Not a foot wrong, and then just, yeah. That's how this career mode goes, though. That's how it goes sometimes. You get unlucky.
And after this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the drivers' table. It wasn't the best weekend for our championship leader, and their advantage at the top has been reduced. Now, let's discuss, Ant. Who would you say is a contender for driver of the day?
Often my go-to would be a driver who's managed to pull off an especially impressive feat during the race. However, in this instance, I was more impressed by Max Verstappen's solid, clean driving throughout the event.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Mercedes continue to extend their lead. It's been an absolutely wild weekend of Formula One action. I can't wait to see what's next.
So here's the turn 1 incident. I'm not expecting the McLaren to come over to the right the way he did, and you're gonna see this, that I'm just kind of trying to keep a nose in there down the inside here. We actually have an okay start. It was actually a pretty good start, but you're going to see this McLaren come over. Oh, I was not expecting them to go so slow through there. Wing damage. That was it. That was race over. We'll restart so you can see it from the TV cam as well. I just wasn't expecting the... Well, we'll do this as well. How about this? How about we do this? TV cam. I don't know what that was, but that was terrible. But this was... yeah. I think it was Norris that squeezed us. We'll see what his onboard looks like. Like, what was he doing? I want to see it in slow-mo from my perspective again. So everyone's kind of squeezing. The AI, I don't know, Codemasters need to look in this because the AI will squeeze each other. You see how they're all squeezing each other into turn one? I mean, this Racing Point Stroll, he doesn't have anywhere to go, really. Look how close he is to the wall. There's just nowhere for him to go. Now, I'm not expecting Norris to pull over all the way. I guess. I don't know. I just wasn't expecting him to pull over and then have to slow down. What I should have done is, did I have room to the outside? I could have moved over to the left, but you're not thinking about that in that moment. Boom, front wing damage. They all downshift, or they definitely all brake right there. So I don't know. I don't have an answer. That is a lap 1 incident.
Bad luck today. That must be incredibly disappointing.
Yeah.
Do you have any comments about the collisions?
Uh-oh.
What was your teammate's secret to success today?
They...
Let's talk about another team. How do you feel they did today?
I'm mad at McLaren.
Great. Well, that's everything.
I'm mad because it was a McLaren that caused all my issues for that race. Well, that lasted like all of 4 corners.
Our margins are looking good right now. I think we've got room for some more investment.
We're just going to renew them. It's kind of lazy, but I'm going to renew them. Yeah, we need department morale for the chassis. Fund a team event. Driver promotion filming. Funded team event, or yeah, we'll do that, and we'll do that. So we're probably going to take a penalty at Suzuka. It's our 4th DNF of the season. Hopefully it's our last. Is that the most on the grid? I think it's the most on the grid. It is. In fact, Albon's the only one that has 2 DNFs. Advanced time. Okay, tire allocation, same. And well, we don't know what departments are going to get hit. Tell you what, let's do this. Let's do this. Yeah, we'll do that. Gearbox upgrade. And go to race weekend. Yep.
Alright, listen up everyone. They've announced that the technical regulations are changing for next season. Now there's a risk a lot of our hard work could be undone if we're not careful, so let's figure out how to mitigate this. Drivers, take a look at the developments we have and let us know what you want to invest in protecting. Alright everyone, let's get on top of this.
Well, we're gonna have to look at that when we get to the workspace screen. Back down to 86. Alright, well, dry race, that's good. I'm gonna lose this rivalry. It's just gonna be what it's gonna be. Okay, so these are the departments that are the most affected: chassis and powertrain. So we have to develop all of these parts and adapt them for next season. So it's not too bad, but we're definitely gonna save resource points for adapting these. We have 64 days to do it, so probably a good idea to adapt. Go ahead and adapt all of them. We'll start with the powertrain, and this will be an instant adaptation. So I'm going to cut it here. I don't know if I'm going to jump into the Japanese Grand Prix tonight or if I even want to. I'm just kind of disappointed with the lap 1 incident. We might just hold off until tomorrow to do Suzuka, or I don't know. But yeah, that sucked. I was not trying to DNF or anything. That was a dumb rejoin. Dumb way to rejoin the track. So I don't have much of anything else to say except that was just bad. I might jump on and play some. Let's play some NHL. Just do something a little bit different since we're out. Crashed out. I'm gonna have to set that up, so I'm gonna go ahead and set that up now. It's a bit of a difficult difficult race there. Stream only lasted an hour and a half. Ugh, frustrating. Frustrating. Sorry if you did tune in and got all of, not even all of what, a quarter of a lap of action. But that's the beauty of the no flashbacks career. You have moments like that, and it is what it is. That's all I can say. It is what it is. Bad things are gonna happen. You're gonna have bad luck and bad results. So it is what it is.